Ex-Subway spokesperson Jared Fogle will spend the next 15 years behind bars after pleading guilty to sex crimes.
A federal judge issued the sentence after listening to 3 hours of testimony. Steve Futterman joins us on the phone now. Hi, Steve. What can you tell us about this sentence?
Well, the sentence was just announced around 10 minutes ago. The judge announcing a sentence of 188 months, which translates to 15 years, 8 months, a bit higher than the prosecution had been asking for. The prosecution recommended a sentence of 12 and a half years. Fogle's attorneys wanted the bare minimum, which was 5 years. No one expected it to be that low, but the judge went a bit higher than most people expected. Jared Fogle, for most of the hearing, maintained his composure. He did briefly address the court, and when he addressed the court, he did show some signs of emotion, his voice cracking. He told the court that he is remorseful every day of his life. He said these victims have lost a lot. He said he can never repay them for what he has done. He was remorseful in that statement. But during the other testimony that the judge heard, she heard testimony of what Jared Fogle allegedly did, and he basically admitted to the court that everything the reports said about him, he was in fact guilty of. Having sex with 2 young women, 16 and 17, viewing pornography, child pornography, for a number of years. He did admit that he did these things. Again, this was not a surprise today. This was the formal sentencing. We expected Fogle to enter the pleas of guilty to these 2 counts, and now he has been sentenced.
It's unusual, isn't it, for a judge to reject what the lawyers agreed to in the plea and up the sentence. Did he explain why he chose to do that?
Well, it's a female judge. And she basically, and just a few moments ago, she said that the reason she went above the recommendation of the prosecution was because what Jared Fogle did for a number of years, she said he was living a double life, a web of deception and depravity. She said Mr. Fogle seemed to have it all, but he gave it up for the lifestyle that he chose to have. And basically, she explained to the court, she's still speaking right now. She explained that normally it's unusual for judges to go beyond what the recommendation is, but she thought in this case it warranted it.
Just curious, were any members of Fogle's family in the courtroom?
I'm not aware if they were. We were expecting perhaps his parents to be there. I was not able to detect, though, if in fact these were family members in the court. There were a number of people in the court who we believe were people who knew Jared Fogle, but I was not able to confirm that.
And the moment that he did admit to all of these charges, what was it like in the courtroom?
It was quite a tense scene. Again, there were 2 parts of this hearing. There were the allegations. They basically read out matter-of-factly all these allegations in quite graphic detail what Jared Fogle allegedly did, both in the child pornography charge and in the sex with minors charges. And during that part of the hearing, Jared Fogle showed no signs of emotion at all. He stood at the podium. He told the judge, yes, everything that has been said is true. It was when he made this 5-minute statement, basically his final plea to the court, that's when he showed some signs of emotion. But throughout the court hearing, it was quite a tense hearing. When these key moments came up, it was quiet in the courtroom, basically everyone trying to listen to the judge or listen to Jared Fogle when he was speaking.
All right, our partner at CBS News Radio, Steve Futterman, thank you.
My pleasure.